hello everyone. Filet mignon here from Medium Rare Poetry. Yes, I know it's been a minute, but my beautiful wife, Philly Mignon, and I have been travelling and gardening and basically being wrapped up in life. And I can't actually write a poem every day of the week because I'm bone lazy and not that productive. However, I'm back because I've got a few. So over the next few days, I shall put them up on YouTube for hopefully your enjoyment. Today's poem is to do with the passing of Pope Francis, who died on Easter Monday, the 21st of April, 2025. And this was the day after he'd met with J.D. Vance, which of course has nothing to do with the Pope's passing, I hope. Anyway, Pope Francis, once he ascended to heaven, marshalled all the wonderful powers that can be available to anyone who passes up there, and he used these powers to set a few things right with the world. And not getting on with Donald Trump or J.D. Vance, I now present to you exactly what happened. Divine Intervention. Divine Intervention by Filet Mignon. A humble man who loved the poor decided he had one more chore. With failing health, he took the chance to have a chat with J.D. Vance. In times gone by, he'd failed with Trump, regarding him as Satan's chump, possessed by greed which drowned his soul by paddling in a swamp of gold. Unfazed by J.D.'s black eyeliner, Francis said, "Be kind to China. Hear my words for what they're worth. The meek are poised to rule the earth. Renounce those of obscene great wealth. Avarice spurns fox-like stealth. When you no longer suit their needs, they'll mow you down like untamed weeds." The Vance, who'd tasted poverty, viewed Francis as a novelty. This visit was a TV show to gaslight all the folks back home. An image cleanse with holy soap, free blessings from a Catholic Pope. The Harvard-tutored man of words did view Pope Francis as absurd. Surrounded by such affluence, could he preach real penitence? The stately robes and fancy hat, 1 billion souls to make him fat. Stubborn Vance then took his leave, deportment for the world to see. But deportation was his core, tag Pope then for El Salvador. So Francis, with an Easter wave, found solace in a papal grave. His spirit rose up instantly, heaven bent efficiently. Once there amongst the higher realms, he knew that good would overwhelm. This sinful cadre lacking love would learn with an angelic shove. The funeral was a grand affair. World leaders came from everywhere. The dress code was just basic black, respect with diplomatic tact. In front row seat, a rude big shot, flagrant as a great blue dot. The Trump ignored the colour call, a friendless petty blue puff ball. So home went Trump with Botox Barbie. He'd slept throughout the Catholic derby. JFK's and Biden's fame did echo in the despot's brain. Then Lindsey Graham gave him hope, suggesting he become next pope. This roused his instincts dark and tribal. Damn, he'd have to read a Bible. Trump and Vance pushed on their way, dismantling all the USA. The Vatican had taught them nothing, incense and a bunch of puffing. Ignorant of brand new Pope, announced by clouds of sweet white smoke, new pontiff channeling Pope Francis viewed the MAGA's circumstances. Appealing to the Catholic horde that love and mercy be restored, he marshalled every nation's church to leave Trumpism in the lurch. With power in this declaration, every faith shared this foundation. Politics had failed outright to stem the tide of Donald's blight. The simple folk who suffered most rose up to turn the Trump to toast. Some flooded to the Capitol, a tourist jaunt, the cops were told. The rest thronged into Mar-a-Lago to oust the orange-skinned potato. Stuffed inside a gold golf cart, he fled just like an uncorked fart. The Secret Service weren't around. They wouldn't save the bully's crown. The crowd then quickly ran him down. Would this mob lynch the hated clown? Pope Francis just then did appear, before the thousands gathered near, intoning love and mercy true, for this would start the world anew. Meanwhile, Trump had disappeared, left the planet as he'd feared, no longer the invincible, a desiccated criminal. Once more was he now free and clear. Francis dragged him by the ear. The golf cart seat stained by the viper, one red hat and one full diaper. Back in DC, things were hot. Millions stormed the parking lot. Pollies were removed in chains, exposing their ill-gotten gains. Lindsey Graham, caught half-dressed in petticoat and bra, a mess. And Vance in Hegseth's makeup room was touching up his Trump's perfume. Poor JD, so disillusioned, reached a ludicrous conclusion. As a White House resident, he would now be president. True to Francis' prophecy, Vance had MAGA leprosy. All his billionaire supporters cast him off with bruised hindquarters. As for all the wealthy class, they were stripped of all their brass. Crypto kids with elegance, using faux intelligence, drained their coffers in a flash, redeploying all their cash. Poverty was written off once the pigs had lost their trough. And so it was throughout the world, peace just like a cyclone whirled. Simple folk all won the day, keeping autocrats at bay. Bigotry and envy fled, just like peaceful Francis said. This was always his intention, divine it was, this intervention. Well, maybe that's not exactly what happened, and maybe I'm just projecting my thoughts into my poetry, which I'm allowed to do because that's known as poetic license. But I hope you enjoyed the poem. Please like, share and subscribe and press the notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when another one's coming. In the meantime, you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.